Calling the roll, Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney,
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Here.
Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Andrea, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes. Gail Long, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You can. Yes.
Turn on your microphone, please. Just push the button, the green button.
A green light will come
Yep.
on.
No, no.
Right under your microphone. Push button. Oh,
Join the club.
Okay. Is that better?
yes.
Okay. Good evening, President Jones, Councilwoman Turner, who is my new councilperson, and members of the Cuyahoga County Council. My name is Gail Long, and I am a member of Northern Ohioans for Budget Legislation Equality, otherwise known as NOBLE. We are a coalition of individuals and organizations committed to bringing the voices of low-income Northeast Ohioans to the state budget process. We have been doing this since 2003. Our priorities include health and human services, revenue, public education, public transportation, to highlight just a few. Today, we are here to present our perspective on how ARPA funds should be spent. You, along with the administration, received a letter along with our priorities on or about March 15th. I have given the clerk additional copies of our priorities, and I think you probably have them in front of you. Four of us will make brief presentations. I will start and will be followed by Diane Howard, Brian Mallory, and at some point, Lou. You have probably heard the expression COVID cliff. When the federal health care emergency is scheduled to be lifted in mid-July, thousands of county residents may lose their Medicaid and food stamp benefits. We feel that it is a legitimate expenditure of ARPA funds to make sure that there is adequate staffing at the Department of Employment and Family Services to handle the large number of people who will be reevaluated to be determined whether or not they can continue to be eligible for these benefits. Eligibility must be done in a fair and comprehensive manner, and we hope that you will consider using some of your unallocated funds to make the department whole in this area. Diane? Oh, I'm sorry, I did that wrong.
Yes, this stay until you finish your presentation.
Yes, I'm done.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane Howard.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Diane Howard, and I am one of the co-chairs of Northern Ohioans budget legislators for budget equality. What I'm presenting to members of the executive board is on ARPA funds. One of the ways for the residents of Cuyahoga County are currently, that would directly benefit from the ARPA funds and the expenditures of the ARPA funds, to continue to invest an eviction and utility shutoff. For the prevention of the shutoff. Residents are still trying to catch up and invest in evictions and utilities for the shutoff. Residents are, and for the low-income residents, are still trying to catch up on the eviction notices and the shutoffs. When residents are served with eviction notices and they live in a city of Cleveland, of Cuyahoga County, and have children, they are guaranteed for legal counsel. They help them, but it still need to be more fundings to stop the eviction notices and utility shutoffs. I would like to thank you for listening to me. So please, take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Mallory.
Good evening. Council President Jones, Vice President Stevens, County Executive Budish, distinguished council. I'm here to talk about perhaps what is the first pandemic that this county was engaged in previous to COVID-19, and that's the opioid crisis. I just want to at this time shout out to council people here, Councilman Miller and Schron, who at the time that we were facing that first pandemic and we got settlement money, recommended that our county look to the communities that were most heavily hit and direct funds to those grassroots organizations that were dedicated to education and ameliorating the effects in those communities. So thank you, gentlemen. But a lot has happened since that time. We've been hit with COVID-19. We've passed a county levy for health and human services, but we still are faced with a tremendous need in the county in this area. So I just want to point out that one of the recommendations that we have is noble, that in this distribution of these ARPA funds, we look to those organizations that don't normally get looked at by this county in terms of helping to get the word out, to get the services, and to get the help to our people, and also to be included in that process. I thank you for your time, and I'm going to pass off to my colleague, Evan O'Reilly.
Evan O'Reilly.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for your time today. My name is Evan O'Reilly. I'm also here to speak on behalf of Noble. I'm a constituent of Councilwoman Conwell. First of all, I want to echo everything that my colleagues have said regarding the need for rental and utility assistance for low-income residents, the need to generally focus more money towards addressing the needs of people who are about to be hit by the COVID cliff in July, and also calling attention to the continued severity of the opioid epidemic in our county. But I would also like to call attention to one of our 11 priorities in this letter was mold abatement. While we have seen that there's money in the ARPA proposals for lead abatement, which is excellent, and brownfield remediation, black mold is actually one of the things that flies under the radar as a serious health trigger for people in our county, and this is actually a problem nationwide. It's a much more acute kind of adjutant than lead can be. Generally, people have severe allergic reactions to it. It's very dangerous for infants. In the late 90s, there was a major crisis where I think about 24 small infants and toddlers were killed due to pulmonary issues caused by exposure to black mold in Cleveland. So as the county tries to remediate old housing stock for lead and other toxins, I would also recommend that provisions be made to address mold, which is a problem throughout our entire county housing stock. And finally, we spoke today with some residents at the Harvard Lee Senior Center. One of them brought to my attention a problem that many people in his community are facing, which is the lack of regular assistance with home upkeep and landscaping for senior residents. He mentioned that it's extremely difficult for older people who are living by themselves, who are disabled or struggling with illness, when the city is only able to come once a month to, say, help upkeep their lawn or shovel snow, especially during the winter time. This basically prevents people from being able to get out of their house at all or be accessible to their families. I would highly recommend that council, in collaboration with municipalities as well, maybe look into ways to expand funding for these kind of services for our elderly community as part of the proposals already outlined. Thank you.
Lou?
Good evening.
Good evening.
You have heard a lot, there are lots of issues, and these issues are actually part of the reasons today we have so many people falling into homelessness. When we talk about the mold, we actually already have lots of victims stay in the shelter. They have been sick because of the mold they got from other places. So even they got a voucher when they have to go through the searching process. Some of the apartment, when they goes in, their body reacts to them. So they know there's a mold somewhere, but you just cannot see it immediately. And this goes to the ARPA funds when we try to increase affordable housing. Now, if the money only goes to developers building new, will they really follow all the guidelines genuinely to ensure these are really affordable units they can actually rent to the voucher holders who can actually afford to pay maybe $400 instead of still $1,000 over $1,000? Now, of course, the other group of people we can depend on, nonprofits. But just for example, the money issues to homeless service, just for example, it will go to lots of nonprofits. However, we know shelter building itself, mold. In the past, I did complain about our bathrooms. That actually shows you all these buildings already have the molds in there and also pest controls. So if you only give this money to developers, nonprofits, the individuals living in the county sometimes cannot really get any benefit from out of the funds. So the help is not really reached for their needs. The other thing, good items we have in ARPA funds will be the investment into food bank. However, people don't live on the food only. How about the toilet tissue and all other stuff? Especially for homeless people if they move out. Even if they have a voucher to ensure that the rent is paid for, they still need lots of help to purchase the basic necessities. Even right now, broadband is a big issue because you have to use broadband to research on jobs and even fill out lots of forms. Even you want to attend school again. And lots of school will require you to submit your project through broadband service as well. Not only children, I'm talking about adults. It's hard on reentry people as well, and this is also a population in the homeless population. So I will use the homeless population to give you the projection. How well these funds items can actually benefit the whole county, there will still be obstacles. So please, make sure you actually check all the items and make sure the administrative side of the work will actually go into our individuals in the county. Thank you very much.
That
Anyone else
concludes,
sign?
that concludes the public comment portion for this meeting.
All right, thank you very much. Councilwoman Conwell, did you have a comment?
All
you'd like to
right,
make?
thank you, Mr. President. And I just wanted to, this is not a normal process that we entertain. We listen, but we don't usually respond. But I just wanted to let the public know, as well as the individuals that just came up here for public comment, there are still funds that are available for utility assistance. There are still funds for eviction notices. So please reach out to county council staff, and they can let you know where those resources are. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right, at this time, can I have a motion to approve our minutes as presented on today's agenda?
I so move.
Second, Tron.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor of approving our minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the minutes are approved. At this time, we'll have our messages from our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. In 2020, the Ohio Attorney General's office worked with local governments to create the One Ohio program. One Ohio is intended to be used to disperse settlement proceeds for the state opioid litigation. The state's divided into regions. Region 3 is Cuyahoga County. Most of the 18 other regions are made up of multiple counties. Each region is required to come up with a governance structure and members for a regional council. Right now, Region 3 is receiving just over $14 million to be paid out over 18 years. There's a possibility that further litigation would increase this amount. I've spoken to President Jones and Mayor Bibb and others, and we've agreed on these members for the regional council. 3 by the county executive, subject to approval by council, 1 by the county council president, 2 by the mayor of Cleveland, 1 by the Cleveland City Council president, 1 by county prosecutor, 3 by the administrative judge of common pleas, 1 by each of the 2 most populous cities in Cuyahoga County other than Cleveland, 4 by the Mayors and Managers Association, 1 by Metro Health, 1 by St. Vincent, 1 by the Adams Board, 1 by the Mental Health Advocacy Coalition, and 1 by the NAACP. In addition, there will be created a statewide One Ohio Recovery Foundation Board. The first foundation board meeting will be meeting next Monday, May 16th in Columbus. I'll be attending on behalf of Region 3. The foundation board may distribute other settlement dollars for addiction abatement and to promote mental wellness, though the first meeting will just be organizational. I'll be happy to report back after that meeting. Thank you.
All right. Legislation introduced by council. Committee report in consideration of a resolution of council for second reading.
Resolution 2022-0105, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
This item will move to the May 24th, 2022 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee report in consideration of a resolution of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0082, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Motion to adopt. Thank you. The resolution 0082 was heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on April 19th, 2022. Albert Bouchahine presented a new classification in Public Works of behavioral coordinator at the animal shelter and deleting the classification in HR of training officer. The training officer position to be deleted is currently vacant. 2 positions, training officer and senior training officer, were combined into 1 new classification. The committee voted unanimously to approve this legislation for its third reading adoption. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0120, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2022 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources for appropriation transfers and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. The answers to our questions to OBM are on your desks. Most of the items are routine appropriations and closeouts of grants. Notable is the appropriation of $3,168,794 for the special primary election to be held on August 2nd, which would not have been necessary if our state leaders would simply have followed the law and the Constitution. Fortunately, we expect to get reimbursed for the full amount, but I hate to see any public money get wasted. I'm exercising restraint and not saying more. Also notable is the routine allocation of $3,527,269 in HHS levy dollars for the first half subsidy for jobs and family services. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0121, confirming the designation of Joyce Huang to serve as the alternate to Mayor Justin Bibb on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission, representing the Cleveland region for the term January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0122, authorizing an amendment to a contract, formerly contract number CE 13495 with Fairfax Renaissance Development Corporation for lease of office space located at 8111 Quincy Avenue in Cleveland for the period June 1st, 2002 through May 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to May 31st, 2027, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $5,888,550.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0123, authorizing a grant award to fund for our economic future of Northeast Ohio in the total amount not to exceed $9 million as fiscal agent for Workforce Funders Group for various workforce development activities commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
This item will be referred to the Economic Development and Planning Committee.
Resolution 2022-0124, authorizing an amendment to Agreement Number 1175 with the Metro Health System for the Metro Health Select Network Health Benefit Plan for county employees and their eligible dependents for the period January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0125, authorizing a grant award to Greater Cleveland Food Bank in the amount not to exceed $5 million to construct a new and expanded food distribution center in the city of Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood and to renovate the current facility located at 15500 South Waterloo Road in the city of Cleveland to serve as a one-stop shop for critical wraparound social services and support, effective upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 1 year.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0126, making awards on requisition 8476 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $9,397,121 for the Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program, Employment Education and Training Services for Young Adults for the period April 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2022-0127, authorizing an amendment to contract number 228 with the Metro Health System for correctional health care services for the Cuyahoga County Jail System for the period May 9th, 2019 through May 8th, 2022, to extend the time period to August 8th, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount of $10,600,000 for a total not to exceed amount of $53,927,040.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for second reading.
Resolution 2022-0113, adopting the annual alternative tax budget for the year 2023.
This item will move to the May 24th, 2022 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0109, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Yvette Etu to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee for the term January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2025.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This resolution 0109 was heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on May 6, 2022. Director Pomerantz recommended the reappointment of Yvette Etu to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee ending 12/31/25. The Auditing Board is responsible for the hiring of internal auditor and directing operations of the county's Department of Internal Auditing. The committee was pleased to reappoint Yvette Etu and unanimously approved this legislation for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0110, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community-Based Correctional Facility Governing Board for the term January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024 for the following individuals: Brandy Carney, Vincent D. Holland, and Scott S. Osecki.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Resolution 0110 was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee on May 6, 2022. Director Pomerantz recommended the reappointment of 3 individuals, as mentioned, Brandy Carney, Vincent Holland, and Scott Osecki, to serve on the Cuyahoga County Commission-based Correctional Facility Governing Board. They all bring a wealth of knowledge to this board, and the committee unanimously approved these 3 appointments for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0111, confirming the county executive's appointment of Alan Roskam to serve on the Cuyahoga Community College Board of Trustees for the term January 18th, 2022 through January 17th, 2027.
Motion to adopt. Thank you. This resolution 0111 was also heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on May 6, 2022. Director Pomerantz recommended the appointment of Alan Roskam to serve on the Cuyahoga Community College Board of Trustees for a 5-year term ending January 17, 2027. Mr. Roskam was a former CEO of the Breakthrough Schools, along with serving on other boards, including the Diversity Center of Cleveland and the Board of Trustees of Hawkins Schools. The committee unanimously approved this appointment for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0112, confirming the county executive's reappointment of A. Stephen Dever to serve in his official capacity as representative of Cuyahoga County on the Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation Board of Directors, and it's for the term May 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2024.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Finally, for appointments, Resolution 0112 was heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on May 6, 2022, Director Pomerantz recommended the reappointment of A. Stephen Dever to continue his term on the Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation Board of Directors, also known as LEADCO, for the term ending 4/30/2024. The committee unanimously approved this reappointment for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. I ask for your support of this legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-01-14, making an award on requisition 8922 to Katz Construction, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $1,527,760.16 for resurfacing of Harvard Road from East 190th Street to Warrensville Center Road in the city of Warrensville Heights in connection with the 2021-2024 Transportation Improvement Program.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, we had Ms. Nicole English come before Public Works on this piece of legislation, and that was on last week, and I would ask for my colleagues' support on this important piece of legislation moving forward.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-01-15, making an award on requisition 8923 to Trimore Corporation in the amount not to exceed $4,646,967.30 for resurfacing of Ridge Road from Pearl Road to Flowerdale Avenue in the cities of Brooklyn, Cleveland, and Parma in connection with the 2021-2024 Transportation Improvement Program.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, this specific resolution here, we heard on May 4th, 2022, and Ms. Nicole English from Public Works spoke regarding legislation. It is a resurfacing project, and it is going to be covered it's 63% federal funding, 20% issue one funding, 8.5% goes to the municipalities, and 8.5% to the county from the County Road and Bridge Fund. The estimated start date is 5/25/22, and the completion date is 4/4/23. It will cover a stretch of road of 0.32 miles, but it's a very active intersection, and I would ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Yes,
If you could
Is
please
that
add my,
Councilwoman?
oops, I'm sorry, add my name as well, please. Thank you.
So that was Councilmember Stevens and Councilmember Tuma.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Resolution 2022-01-16, making an award on requisition 8921 to the Vallejo Company in the amount not to exceed $2,988,925.02 for the rehabilitation of Superior Road from Euclid Avenue to Lee Road in the cities of Cleveland Heights and East Cleveland.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Sweeney.
And, Mr. President, with respect to this resolution, Ms. Nicole English came before Public Works on May 4th, 2022, to discuss this work that's going to be done. It's covered by 20% federal funds, 35% the Ohio Public Works Commission funding, 43% from county motor vehicle, it's the $7.50 license tax fund, and 2% with municipalities. It's scheduled to begin May 31st, 2022, and the completion date estimated at least is November 4th of 2022. There were 8 bids submitted and 4 bids were reviewed. Vallejo was the lowest and best bidder, and I'd ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation. Thank you.
Councilman Tuma, was there any discussion in committee around this road project, Superior, being extended west of Euclid Avenue?
You know, I
Need to extend it.
Yeah, there was no discussion on that. That did not come up. I don't know if anybody from Public Works is here. Yeah. Anybody here? I don't see anybody here from Public Works on that.
Council President, you're tired of the potholes on the west?
I was just curious, I'm visualizing the street just west of Euclid Avenue, there's an underpass, and I'm just trying to visualize potholes exactly. And was there any?
There was some patching done in the last couple of years, but it's not comprehensive.
This covers 1.7 miles of the road. That's, I don't know how far down they would go on that, but,
I'm not certain of the need. I was just bringing up the question.
yeah.
Okay.
That did not come up in the committee.
All right, well, if your discussion is completed, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Can you add my name to this one too, please?
Thank you. Resolution 2022-0118, authorizing various contracts with Manatron, Inc., doing business as Abatement Technologies, in the total amount not to exceed $664,467 for support and maintenance services for various Manatron systems for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves 2 contracts with Manatron, Inc. for calendar year 2022 for a total of $644,467 for maintenance of systems required for property tax appraisal and record keeping of appraisals. This contract is funded through the Real Estate Assessment Fund. Since this contract is supposed to already be underway, I recommend passage on second reading, suspension, and ask for my colleagues' consideration. It was unanimously approved by the Finance and Budgeting Committee.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0097, making awards on requisition 7469 to various providers, each in the amount not to exceed $350,000 with a combined total amount not to exceed $700,000 for general, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, architectural, and engineering services, commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, with respect to this legislation, we had Ms. Nicole English come before Public Works on April 20th, 2022. This deals with 2 vendors that do contracting in advance that will allow the flexibility and speed in resolving issues for the county on these specialized projects. The term of the contract is 3 years, and it expires in May of 2025. The RFQ was issued. There were 8 submissions reviewed, 2 selected, and 1 is an SBE set aside. It is funded 100% of the general fund, and I would ask for my colleagues' support in this legislation.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0100, authorizing an economic development loan to Jumpstart, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 to provide local matching funds to support 1/2 of the operating costs to carry out the Ohio Third Frontier Entrepreneurial Services Program to assist early-stage tech startups, innovators, and small businesses throughout Cuyahoga County.
Move to adopt.
Second. Simon.
This matter was heard in committee, in the Economic Development Committee. Ray Leach, the head of Jumpstart, spoke on behalf of this program. The difference between this and traditional loan programs would be is that the anticipation that the loan would be repaid and refunded, but this particular program is designed to be a matching fund with the state's funds, the Third Frontier. So our $2.5 million is matched with their $2.5 million. Because startup companies, sometimes there's a misnomer as to what it takes, the innovators, the small businesses, and they have an idea, they have creativity, they have concepts, but all the other soft costs that it takes to get that startup running, like creating the LLCs, the law organization, the law costs, the accounting costs, the human resources costs, all those things are not seen directly as part of the vision of the innovation of the product, the process, or whatever. And so it's anticipated if all aspects of this loan are correctly carried out, that it will end up being forgiven because these small units will have consumed it in their startup, and we hope that we get a successful startup out of some of these businesses, because this is where the grassroots ground work takes place, and so I am supporting this as was supported by the entire committee. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance for second reading.
Ordinance 2022-0003, providing for an amendment to the Cuyahoga County Human Resources Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual to create a tuition assistance program to be applicable to all county employees.
This item will move to the May 24th, 2022 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilwoman.
can start over here to your
Yes.
left.
Change things up.
We're going to have an education, environment sustainability meeting Wednesday, the 18th, to hear the item referred today at its time at 3.
We'll continue with our equity and allow Councilwoman Stevens.
Councilmember, your
My
microphone, please.
microphone is off. We need a community development committee on Monday, 2 days before hers. I think that's the 16th.
Right?
The Economic Development Committee meeting, did I get here? Sorry about that.
Even though we didn't
see you go
have-
live with your green button.
That's all right. Just to let all my colleagues know that Senior Transportation Connection, which is better known as STC, presented in HHS committee on May 4th. And so I asked my colleagues who were not on that committee to please take the time to view our audio. Also, Saturday, May 21st, the Sewer District will host a utility assistance resource fair from 9 to 12 at Glen Village, located at 1400 East 105th Street. Appointments are preferred and can be scheduled by calling 216-881-8247. I do believe in speaking with the Sewer District, it will save 40% reduction on sewer bills and crisis assistance program, which provides up to a $300 credit on your sewer bill. It is countywide, and the funds are only available to September 30th. Thank you.
There's a item 0123, well, that's easy, will be heard at the Economic Development Committee meeting on Monday at 3 o'clock. Though it'll be heard, I will not participate in any voting in regards to this item because of a conflict, but it will be heard in the committee, and I look forward to being at least be a participant as far as watching and hearing what goes on, but I will not participate actively in the process.
Safety Tuesday, 1 o'clock, we'll take up the Metro jail contract.
Public Works Wednesday at its usually scheduled time. Thank you.
Mr. President, colleagues, Finance and Budgeting Committee will meet at our regular time this Monday, the 16th at 1 p.m. to review the first quarter financial results and to hear a presentation from our American Rescue Plan Act consultants. Thank you.
Yes, if I may, the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee will meet on Tuesday, May 17th at 10 o'clock.
All right, thank you. Is there any miscellaneous business? Oh, all right. Well, if nothing else holds our attention, our council meeting is now adjourned.
It is a lot.
Yeah, it was a modest.